It is the, let me check the date, 29th of April, 2026. Majority parts of the country, and especially the capital of the country, Nairobi, we have been receiving a lot of rainfall. In some states, and I report this just by what has been happening around me, it's been raining for more than 10 hours. 10 good hours of continuous rain. This morning we woke up with rain. Last night we slept with rain. Now you have to know that the meteorological department really did say that we're supposed to receive heavy rainfall during this period. And they have warned you already. And they have said, keep away from places of danger. Once you see water accumulating on roads, please drive safely, keep away, do not wade into those floods. But what has currently happened is that the city is also recorded 3 deaths already. This morning, we start with sad news that 3 people were swept away with floods at the Ruai bypass yesterday. When you look at the story, you will hear that people then do not listen to the warnings that we get from the Met Department. Because one, a lady witnessed one person get swept away, jumped to go help them. All right? The third victim as well, jumped to go help the second victim. And that's how we recorded 3 lives lost. So it's an advisory for any other person who's on the road. Myself, I have seen accidents happen on the road. Yesterday, I was in Rongai, and this morning as well, we do know that majority places in Rongai have also been affected by those floods. Massive gridlocks in traffic. Right now, in the morning, late in the evening as well, we're going to experience these traffic jams because the rains, according to the Met Department, are going to continue all the way into the end of next week. For the parents who are seated with their kids at home, if you don't have to send your kid to school, please let them stay at home so that can be safe. If you don't have to travel, please remain in the house. And if you see any water that is accumulated on the roads, don't play the ninja. Don't play the hero. That's what I wanted to say. What you do, stay at home, be safe, rather safe than dead this morning. The rains are going to continue. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. This is the Morning Drift. Thank you very much for choosing to be right here with the Look Up TV family. Our WhatsApp lines are right there on your screen. You want to talk to us? Talk to us. I want to contribute to our topic this morning, which I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, and it's a big one. You can talk to us as well. And we'll be happy to have you around for the next couple of hours as we then push along with our show this morning. The hashtag is the Morning Drift across our social media platforms. That is at Lookup TV. Good. As usual then, we're going to jump into our dailies this morning, see exactly what we have covered there as you begin your day on this wet morning today. And as usual, we're going to start with the Daily Nation. See exactly what we have covered on the Daily Nation this morning, and I will tell you exactly what we have it. Let me pull the Daily Nation this morning. Good. As we wait then for it to appear right behind me, this is exactly what we have. It's called Gachagua's U-turn, and that's what we talk about this morning. And remember, we did ask you the question whether indeed you, as a Kenyan, you are ready for a Gachagua presidency. I don't know whether we go here or we stick with the Daily Nation. We can. Good. Here it is. Now, couple of areas that we're going to talk about this morning on this one as well, on April 29, 2026. On the Daily Nation, they have this headline on state's shocking admission on CBE. Now, nearly 3 out of 4 grade 3 learners cannot perform basic mathematics, according to a report by the Kenya National Examinations Council, which also reveals more than half are struggling with basic English literacy. These findings by the state agency mirror civil society reports and raise fresh concerns about the state of the foundational learning under the under the competency-based education system. That story has been covered on page 4 of the Daily Nation. We're going to look at it and see exactly what is there. Also, on this one, Kato Kigen, serving as Ruto's lawyer, shouldn't derail my Supreme Court bid. That's what we was talking about yesterday. If you remember, this man, during the post-election violence, if you do remember, was Ruto's lawyer back in 2007, 2008, if you do remember. He's now coming out to say that this will not or should be used as a factor to derail his Supreme Court bid. Good. Now, these are the numbers this morning from this particular story, but you're going to read that story on page 4. Now, relief for teachers as SHA scraps core payments and locks overseas treatment. Story has been covered on page 4 at a time when majority of civil servants across the country and teachers are threatened to abandon the much publicized and pushed SHA scheme. By the way, if you look at those numbers, outpatient is just 4,000 shillings. 4,000. In some hospitals, outpatient or consultation fees goes beyond 4,000. So you will go in to get treated and your consultation fee might not even be enough from your SHA contribution. That's how tough it is. And contribution is around 1,200. Page 7, why mineral-rich Africa must invest in refineries to reap big from wealth. That story has been covered also on page 7 as well. Fantastic how the new voters redraw electoral map. I'm going to show you those numbers this morning. We're going to look at them together on our trends this morning so that then we can come and talk about how the 1.9 million of registered new voters are going to redraw the electoral map across the country. Good. Let's drop the Daily Nation then, crossover to the Standard this morning and see exactly what headlines are covered on the Standard as well as you wake up this morning. Here we go. It's talking about how Ruto ties hound judge. That's the big story here on the Standard. It's talking about how Justice Katwa Kigen walked into his Supreme Court interview. His earlier Court of Appeal vetting still fresh in mind. It's what it's talking about here. Goes on to say, only to be met with sustained questioning over his ties to President William Ruto, his decision to seek a seat at the Apex Court barely 3 months into his role. Commissioners also pressed him on whether he could be impartial in a presidential petition involving his former client, whether he would step aside and how he would respond to pressure from State House. He pushed back, insisting he would be guided by the law, but considered that public perception of bias could still follow him if such a case landed before him. What does he expect? So is that a man who's going to pass that interview if your employers or your would-be employers are telling you, well, the public might judge you? Are you still going to be given that job? Well, you're actually saying that majority of the decisions I'm going to make, the public might judge me based on my relationship with the president. So what do? Do you continue with that job, or do you say, because of that, then I concede? Because we do know. I mean, courts are highly contested areas. They're places that require integrity. No second doubting of the judgments that we get from the Supreme Court. Interesting. And we're going to see exactly how this goes. That story is the main story there. Goes all the way covered on page 4. Now, that's exactly how you wake up this morning in terms of your dailies. Just quickly then, before we talk about our major conversation this morning, let me then take you to what is trending this morning. And I will start with the first one this morning. If indeed we're going to look at what Kenyans are talking about online. Of course, majority of you are talking about the floods that are engulfing majority parts of the city and the country as well. I'll start with the first one on voter registration. Now, there's a map here that we're going to look at this morning that is really indicating how majority of Kenyans have registered across the country, because we do know IEBC has reported they've conducted that accelerated voter registration exercise that has given us a couple of numbers I want to look at this morning. I'll read for you a couple of them. Now, Mandera has around 14,946, Wajir 17,000, Samburu 17,000, Isiolo 9,000. That is the Laikipia 20,000, Marsabit 20,000. Just read the upper part of the country. Turkana 50,000, Trans Nzoia 34,000, Elgeyo Marakwet 22,000, all the way to sites of Kilifi that have seen 54,000 new voters, Tana River 17,000, Lamu 8,000, bringing the total in that exercise of voter registration to around 1.9 million. Now, other counties that we do know that have gone into that registration: Uasin Gishu 43,000, Nandi 42,000, Muranga 40,000, Nyandarua 16,000, Nyeri 38,000, Embu 19,000, Kericho 42,000, Baringo 30,000, Kisumu 37,000. Tafeta, we do have it at 20,000, Makueni 36,000, Machako 65,000, Mombasa 41,000, Kwale 24,000, Lamu 8,000, and Kitui 50,000, Tharaka-Nithi 22,000. Those are what IEBC is giving us at their official numbers once they've gone in that registration exercise. Now, this is exactly what it means then. Couple of comments from you this morning. Very low turnouts. Vijana hawajachukua kura, and it's really true because IEBC was targeting 6 million. They've fallen short of that figure by about 4.1 million for them to get to that figure they were targeting of 6 million. We do know, again, they're going to roll out another exercise just to try and get as close as they can to that 6 million figure. What we do know, next year, there's going to be another round of registration for those who've not gotten to register. All right. If you look at those numbers, they're also looking at how indeed they've registered. If you look at the northern part of the country, that's where majority of that registration has gone into heavily. All right. So let me read Kevin who's saying, Elgeyo Marakwet tuko ligi ya Kwale na Taita, we are doomed ama watu wengi walienda kulala. All right. This is T who's saying, these are new registrations. Yes, indeed, they are new registrations. Then KKK, Kericho Ernest, was saying the penalty for not voting in New South Wales, Australia, is $55 fine. You must respond within 28 days of the issue date of the notice. Why not make voting in general elections mandatory for all Kenyan citizens above the age of 18 years? Do you support that? That if you don't vote, then you are penalized, you know? Because if you look at these numbers, we're just at 1.9 as it currently stands. Good. So let's cross over then and look at another trend this morning that Kenyans are heavily talking about. We're going to look at one President, Dr. William Ruto. He was in Kibra yesterday. And if you do remember, this was the I'll say the zone for one Raila Amolo Odinga. One figure stepped up to support one President Dr. William Ruto. It was Raila Jr. I do know we have a couple of images from that rally yesterday. So I don't know whether my director can confirm indeed we have them so that we can look at a couple of them. Yes, here they are. Let's just listen to the tempo of this rally and probably one or two things that the president said about this rally before I come and read for you these comments right here. All right. This is some of the pictures that we have of President Dr. William Ruto in Kibra yesterday. Now, I do know, my director can confirm this morning, he did make a couple of speeches on some of the promises to the people of Kibra. If you do have one of them, I don't know whether we can play it from our audience this morning so that we hear what the president again promised the residents of Kibra. If you can, for 1 or 2 minutes, before then I cross over to your comments this morning and see exactly what you're saying.
Unajua hizi manyumba za reli ziko hapa. Kuna manyumba ingine 900 hapa mbele. Hizo manyumba zilikwama kwa muda mrefu. Sikizeni watu wa Ayani. Ayani oye. Sikizeni watu wa Kibra. Hizo nyumba 900 iko hapa. Sasa nimepatia instructions watu wa housing. Wachukue hizo nyumba, wakamilishe na wapatie watu wa hapa Kibra waishi katika hiyo manyumba. Kibra oye! Jambo la pili, tuko na shamba imebaki hapo. Hiyo shamba kidogo imebaki hapo. Bwana Hinga, Bwana PS, sasa hiyo shamba tuchukue, tujenge nyumba, na tusijenge nyumba aina hii ndogo ndogo. Tujenge nyumba hapo ghorofa 15 hapo, ndio tuwe na nyumba zaidi ya 3,000 ya watu wa hapa Kibra. Ndio Kibra tuibadilishe, Kibra iweje kuwa slum, Kibra ianze kuwa estate. Nairobi oye! Jambo la tatu, nyinyi mnajua tumekubaliana na county government ya Nairobi, tumekubaliana na wabunge wa Nairobi ya kwamba hii Nairobi lazima tuibadilishe sura yake. Mbali na kujenga madarasa, mbali na kujenga affordable housing, pia tumekubaliana tunaongeza maji ambayo inakuja kwa watu wa Nairobi. Tumeweka pesa bilioni 2 kule Ng'ethu kuhakikisha kwamba tunaongeza maji ambayo inafika Nairobi. Ya pili, tumekubaliana vile vile tujenge barabara mpya kilomita 240 hapa Nairobi, ndio tuhakikishe ya kwamba tunaondoa barabara za matope kutoka Nairobi County. Na namba 3, tumekubaliana ya kwamba kati ya sasa na mwisho wa mwaka tunaunganisha mataa 40,000. Tuondoe giza Nairobi, tuweke street lighting, Nairobi iwe na mwangaza, watu waweze kufanya kazi 24 hours, na tuhakikisha kwamba kuna usalama katika mji wetu wa Nairobi. Na mwisho, tumekubaliana vile vile ya kwamba lazima tuondoe takataka kwa mji wa Nairobi. Nairobi must equally be a green and clean city, the one that was the city in the sun. Na ndio tumekubaliana tunaendelea na hiyo kazi. Tumeweka pesa ya serikali bilioni 80 kubadilisha sura ya hii Nairobi.
That's it. A lot of promises that the president has given to the residents of Nairobi, and especially for those who thronged to Kibera yesterday to listen to him. Well, in a nutshell, 260 kilometers of road that are going to be constructed in Nairobi. Water, already 2 billion invested at Ng'ethu. Affordable housing, 40,000 lights by the end of the year. And he's saying Nairobi needs to be as clean as any proper city that we have around. Good. Now, there's a man who went to support the president, who is Raila Jr. And Kenyans haven't liked that. I'm going to read 1 or 2 comments this morning. Mary Njoroge was saying, the family of traitors, they go where the money is. There is a reason his dad never became the president. That's Mary, who's talking about that this morning. We have Senator Ledama, who's saying, we can never end up like Kanu never, no matter what. These diabolical schemes to annihilate the Orange Democratic movement be brutally warned. We are mightier than you can fathom. That was responding to some of the comments that the president again made in Kibra yesterday. Good. Now, those are some of the reactions that we got from the ground as the president then completed his Kibra about. Now, there's one here that we have to look at before we step out of the studio and talk about our topic this morning. It is the Nairobi floods. Can we look at it? There's one TikToker, and I'm going to read his name this morning, who captured this video in Nairobi yesterday. Let's take a look at it and see how Nairobians were struggling through floods yesterday.
Watu wa Super Metro wameamua waelezewe kwa laini. Hii ni mbaya. Who is like you, my Father? Who is like you, King of Glory? Who is like you, my God? Who is like you? Mambo life kabisa. Unaona sasa Mambo ni live. We are here because of your mercy. We stand to speak because of your mercy.
The advisory is that when you get out of the house today, carry an umbrella if you can, dress warm. See, majority of ladies who have open shoes, please, closed shoes. It's important because stepping in the city waters, then the water is also not so clean. So be informed. Usipatikane na mvua na tushakwambia mvua itanyesha mpaka next week. That's what the Met Department is saying this morning. Now, this is the conversation we're having this morning. When Gachagua was stepping out of High Court, he spoke to the police officers who were just outside the Kilimani court. And he told them, and we're going to play that clip, mukinipatia hii serikali, I'll make you priority. Not verbatim. I'm just trying to make sense of what he was saying. And we're going to listen to what he said. So once we come back, the conversation is going to be about the eventuality of that court case that is currently ongoing for Rigathi Gachagua. We're going to listen to what his fellow coalition mates are talking about. We're going to listen to what he has spoken about and then come back and I ask you this question. In the eventuality, Rigathi Gachagua is cleared to run for presidency in the country. And I'm saying that, going by the fact that he's pushing for the legality of his impeachment, are you, as a Kenyan, ready for a Rigathi Gachagua presidency? Talk to us at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. I already see some of our guests already seated in the studio, ready to jump in on this conversation. We have a look at it. Once we come back, talk about it. The hashtag is The Morning Drift. My name is Simba. Elijah Charles. Can I get see you on the other side of the break?
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Look Up, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki, waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria watu wa boda, mama mboga nini.
Hawa sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi man.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
Forgive someone who has hurt you. How easy is it? What are some tips a person can apply to improve their public speaking skills?
We all have personality lazy somewhere around us.
In my mind, whenever I'm invited for a public speaking event, I don't like to put a lot of, accessories or too many colors.
What are the major things to look out when choosing a school for a child?
Another cheesy conversation starter is, men do this a lot. Men look familiar. Have we met before? No. We met in the
Nobody is buying that line again.
No, we don't. We don't buy it anymore. Forgive someone who has hurt you. How easy is it? What are some tips a person can apply to improve their public speaking skills?
We all have personality lazy somewhere around us.
In my mind, whenever I'm invited for a public speaking event, I don't like to put a lot of, accessories or too many colors.
What are the major things to look out when choosing a school for a child?
Another cheesy conversation starter is, men do this a lot. Men look familiar. Have we met before? No. We met in the
Nobody is buying that line again.
No, we don't. We don't buy it anymore.
Do you need a dose of hope? If so, you are in the right place. We think of ourselves around here as hope dealers, delivering truth, power, and inspiration to hearts and minds all over the world. If nothing else has worked for you, why not give the God thing a try? For it's in the presence of God that you'll find everything that you need. Amen.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands, depend on your hands more.
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I loved music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like.
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he is going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
watu ya Kiganja. Tunapoteza nyinyi. Ngoja tukue serikali next year nitarudisha nyinyi ile mipango. You need to present unit ile next year October nikiwa rais nitarudisha nyinyi bali. Nyinyi ndio nguvu ya taifa.
That's it. That clip was not an official clip. But I hope you've heard exactly what Gachagua said. That's him after appearing at the High Court for the first day, the mentioning of his case. Comes out and says, next year, October, nikiwa rais, nitarudisha nyinyi mali yenu. He was speaking to the police force in the country. For those people who don't know what that means in English, he said, next year, October, when I become president, I'll make you guys priority. He goes on to say, I don't like the way things are right now. And the police that was speaking to him, they're quite happy. They were smiling. He's a man who's telling them, next year, when I'm president, I'm going to take you back to where you belong. For the impeachment case, Gachagua is turned around. We're going to talk about this morning. He's not interested in being reinstated. He's interested on just the impeachment process being declared illegal. So you can see he's a man who's already decided on exactly what he wants to get, if indeed is cleared. Presidency. And that's exactly what we're talking about this morning. So our topic this morning is purely, when I become president, the question we're asking you this morning is, are you ready for a Gachagua presidency? Talk to us at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. Our WhatsApp lines are right now on your screen. So you can actually get to talk to us and talk to us about this particular subject. But then, this morning, we are getting joined by a man that I want you to get accustomed to. I want to call him Riruta. It's going to be your MC. I like for him to introduce himself properly again, because every time I have a chance to speak to him, it's a chance for him to speak to you as well. Riruta, can you kindly introduce yourself to your constituents this morning and Kenyans at large?
Well, thank you, Simba, for the invite, and good morning, Kenyans and my Riruta people in particular, and Nairobians in general. My name is Alutalala Wycliffe. I'm a Kenyan and a resident of Riruta Ward, and an aspirant for the MCA seat in Riruta in 2027 on UDA ticket. Thank you.
That's it, pretty much. Let's jump in. Our next guest is just going to walk into the studio directly to join in the conversation this morning, and once he comes in, we're going to do that proper introduction as well. Let me start like this. I'll start with what Gachagua has told the police officers. He says, next year, when I am president, I'll return you, the police force in this country, to where you belong. And when he addressed them, every other person around him, and specifically the police force, all the police officers, they were quite happy. Are you ready for the Gachagua presidency, Riruta?
Okay, first of all, I think what is happening in the political space is a bit interesting, and we are going to see more of this in the coming months as we head into 2027 elections. Basically, the former DP is actually fighting for his political life. As we all know, impeachment politically is a very serious thing.
Yes.
Because what it does, if it is concluded, is that it keeps you out of politics for 10 years.
Yes.
So the fight that the former DP is having is a fight for his political life, and he has all the rights, just like any other Kenyan, to fight legally for his space.
That's it.
Now, on the issue of whether I as a person am ready for a Gachagua presidency, automatically I've introduced myself as a UDA candidate and my candidate is Dr. William Ruto.
Yes.
So I'm ready for a Dr. William Ruto presidency in 2027. That is the official position.
Why are you not ready for Gachagua presidency?
Of course, politics is competition, and I have a candidate, and you can never have your cake and eat it. We must draw the line, and I've drawn my line.
He has spoken to the police force.
Yes.
At the High Court and told them, when I become president in October 2027, I'll take you back to where you belong. Judging by how jubilant the police officers were when he made that statement, does it threaten you a little bit as a UDA, a party member, that the competition might get stiffer?
You know, in politics, they say that politics is the art of selling hope. And Gachagua, as a politician, is right to sell hope to the police. But I also think Kenyans are not so timid that they have forgotten who Gachagua is. This is a man who was just the other day a DP, and we know what he used to say. And even during the campaigns, we know what he used to say about the police. So for him to say that when I become president in October next year, I'll make you a priority, that is just a statement. But for me, I don't want to think so much about it because I don't see him becoming president.
Pretty much. Proper introduction. At this point, then, let me introduce our second guest who's already in the studio this morning, suffering from what we've just been talking about off here this morning. When it rains in Nairobi, everything just goes south. But it's a good thing, isn't it, in the studio this morning? Let me introduce the SG Grand Political Movement Party, one Mr. Wasonga Mathew. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Happy to have you around.
Yeah. And my apologies. You know, the weather is weathering outside here.
That's it.
And
all right.
I'm also happy to meet my senior brother, Mr. Alutalala.
That's it.
It's been long.
Good.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here today.
So let's settle into this conversation.
Yes.
You've just come in at a time when we just played a clip of one Brigadier Gachagua speaking to the police officers after his first day in court, listening to his impeachment case. And he said, next year, October, nikiwa rais, nitawarudisha mahali mnafahamu. He was speaking to the police officers, and he told them he's a bit concerned about the current state, telling them that we're going to look into that. The police officers, they seem to love what Gachagua told them. And so this morning, the first question I want to introduce to you, Mr. Mathew, are you ready for a Gachagua presidency?
Thank you. First, I did watch the clip, and to me that was just a political statement. It doesn't carry any weight. You know, one thing is to know, Charles, is that everybody vying, if you decided to vie, the first thing, if you talk to anybody vying outside here, from an MCA seat to the president, they will tell you, I'm the next MC, I'm the next MP, I'm the next governor. So, such a political statement, we are used to them.
It's not,
and
it's not
and
just,
the smile from the police officers.
It's not just anybody saying it. It's a man who's fighting his impeachment.
Even anybody vying for presidency, even Bishop Mwaure in 2022 believed that he was to become the next president. Did he become? Including Wajackoa. According to them, they were the next president. So even today, many people will say, I was even seeing the other person on social media, I don't know their names, saying they will be, even Boniface Mwangi believes that he will be the next president. Do you believe such statement? Yourself, do you believe Boniface Mwangi will become the president in 2027?
In this respect, we're not talking about... In this respect...
What I'm trying to say is that,
respect, yes.
Whatever the impeached deputy president says was just a political statement trying to incite the people around him.
But Mathew,
and while talking to the police officers, the smile in the faces of those gentlemen, you know, they're just human beings, just like you and I. And when you tell me something, If I smile, does not necessarily mean I agree with it. Maybe whatever you are saying appears so funny and it's just beyond reality, and I can't even answer you. The only thing I can say is just to smile and say, okay, to avoid the unnecessary argument.
That's one side of the coin.
Yes.
But what if you like it? But it was also speaking to voters. The guys that were smiling were voters.
The reality of the matter is, I've been watching Rigathi Gachagua.
Yes.
After the impeachment.
Yes.
How he has been doing his own politics. I don't believe this country, leave alone even me, this country will need someone like Rigathi Gachagua as the president. This is someone who his wrong statement and argument lack ideas and proper ideologies to move this country forward. This is a guy that based his argument and his politics around hunger and betrayal and revenge. If you look at it, you'll realize that Rigathi Gachagua does not have anything significant for this country. That in all the statements Rigathi Gachagua have made, both in private and in public rallies, there is nothing you can pick substantive that you say, now, this is something that if I present it to the country, then we can move this country. As a patriotic Kenyans, I believe this guy can take this country to the next level. He said that if Rigathi Gachagua is not speaking about Mount Kenya, he's speaking about this community. If he's not speaking about the other community, he's speaking about President William Ruto. So how is that helping us? Yes, President William Ruto might not be the best. But now, telling us one time Ruto must go from morning to evening, so what? So I think this is a gentleman that lack what it takes to lead this country. Okay? Or rather is so much bitter in the filled with hunger in the impeachment process.
Yes.
You know, this is someone that was elected after just serving for an MP in one term. Power gotten into his head after becoming the deputy president. So much power gotten into his head. Come out bragging, singing like now I'm the master of everything, bulldozing everyone and everything in front of him, saying how many people will enter State House and who will not go to State House, how he will do this and will know. You know, you could see, you are here. You know, I think you've been in this country long enough. You are not coming from another country, my friend.
True.
And we've been listening to him, okay? Then all of a sudden, the power that he so much believed he has captured slipped off his hands. So the guy was just feeling hunger. That's why I said that this country, not only me as Mathew, but the country and the patriotic Kenyans are not ready for Rigathi Gachagua to become president. Maybe in 2042 or maybe in 2037. But now, he needs to tone down and realize that he as someone who has become the deputy president, is no longer a member of parliament for Madeira, or he must now move from this tribal kingpinship and start wearing that coat of a national leader. Until then now we can talk of his presidency.
That's it. I'll be coming to you because the questions that I have here for all the critics of Rigathi Gachagua are well presented to you this morning. Let me cross over to Aluta this morning. Are you threatened by the eventuality of that High Court case hearing? In the event that Rigathi Gachagua is cleared of any wrongdoing in his impeachment, and you know exactly what he said. He said, look here, I don't want to be reinstated. All that I want you guys to declare in the country today is that my impeachment was wrongful. We've listened to his lawyers put up his case up in High Court. If it's not a man who you're threatened by, Aluta, your side never stops speaking about him. Every chance you get, you are talking about why Rigathi Gachagua isn't the right man to rise to the helm of the presidency in this country. If it was a no-nonsense, if it was inconsequential, you couldn't have been speaking about him. The same way I don't see you speaking about Boniface Mwangi. The same way I don't see you speaking about the other candidates who've come up to say we are running for presidents in this country. Why is it only about Rigathi Gachagua if you're not frightened by him?
Now, you know, when you talk about being threatened, I think you are using very heavy language.
Is it, Aluta?
That is unnecessary.
Is it?
Now, you know, my candidate, the president, the current president, is one man who is never threatened by issues that are humanly possible. If you remember in 2022, this is a man who was really under siege. You remember him serving the last 5 years under Uhuru as a deputy without powers.
Yes.
We saw how this guy was humiliated in several functions. We saw how his functions were actually taken over by Matiang'i.
Yes.
We saw how his boss nicknamed him Tanga. But this is a man who never gave up. This is a man who stood on the platform of we shall fight it on, head on. You remember the famous phrase, we are the deep state. So if this guy stood out then against his boss, who was having the power, but who was unfortunately supporting an opponent against his own deputy, and he came out victorious. This is the same man you want to tell me is threatened when he's on the seat?
Yes.
Never.
Because by then he was with Brigadier Gachagua.
Now, you know, one thing that people always try to bring out,
yes,
that the president was elected because of Gachagua. That is a lie. In this country, we can remember all the former presidents, from Moi to Kibaki to Uhuru. Do you even remember who are the deputy presidents for Moi? No. Why? Because we were voting for Moi. We always give a lot of credit to Kibaki. Kibaki did this, Kibaki did this. Do you even remember that Kalonzo was his deputy? No. Because when people go to an election, they elect the president.
Yes.
And for your information, in 2022, the election and the mood was for William Ruto. And if you don't know, Gachagua was not the ideal candidate for deputy president's position. And we know what happened in Karen. We all know that Kindiki was the preferred presidential deputy. Mm-hmm. And we know what transpired and how he forced his way into that position. And that is why, if you heard the president when he was in Sagana addressing the Mount Kenya MPs when he visited Mount Kenya, he told those MPs very clearly that when this impeachment came, I actually talked to the MPs not to go to impeach the deputy president. But it is actually the Mount Kenya MPs who insisted that this man must go. This tells you this is a man who didn't even have favor with his own Mount Kenya people.
Yes.
And that's why, as much as this guy has gone out there saying my community was removed, my community has been denied power, my community has... Have you seen any civil servant, any politician who has been appointed into this government from Mount Kenya quitting because Gachagua is not there? To date, they still have the largest number of people in government.
Yes.
From PSS to CSS to parastatal heads to chiefs of missions and everything. So, this idea kwamba the president was elected because of Gachagua is a lie and it is a myth.
Pretty much. And
secondly, on the issue of the threat,
yes,
I want to tell you this. We are talking about an impeachment case which is in court. We can't go into the details because the matter is live.
Yes.
But one thing I tell you, whenever you are having a matter in court, there are two scenarios. You may win and you may lose. Now, what does winning mean to Gachagua? Winning means the impeachment can be thrown out. And he has made himself clear that he doesn't want to be reinstated back to the position.
That's it.
He only wants to be compensated. Now, losing means the impeachment may be upheld, meaning he remains barred from contesting. Now, whichever outcome comes out of the case, I can assure you as UDA and as President Ruto, we are prepared. And we are going to fight for this election, and I can assure you, God willing, October next year,
yes,
William Ruto shall be re-elected as the President of Kenya.
Pretty much. I like the way Aluta says that we're using big words this morning about threatened and all that, but he turns around and uses the word fight. You can't fight somebody who you do not think can match you in a contest. Just before we go for a tiny breath and bring in Wasonga then to also look at this particular issue, I want us to listen to Rigathi Gachagua when he was speaking last week before the commencement of this case. And he's a man who speaks with bravado and a surety that after that hearing process, his case might actually turn the way that he wants it to turn. Let's listen to him and then come back and talk to Mathew this morning.
Managing that illegal process. Uliona mimi nilipelekwa pala Senate na National Assembly. Even when I told my children I'm going to court, they are opposed to it. Say, Dad, you face humiliation and embarrassment. Please don't go back again. My children were traumatized that a man we had helped to be president was embarrassing us and humiliating us before the people of Kenya. But I've told my children and my supporters, no. We have faith in our judicial system that it should be able to give justice to Rigathi Gachagua, his supporters, and the people of Kenya. I have therefore convinced my children to allow me to be present in court, and I've requested them to come if they can. They are very reluctant because they are still traumatized by what we were taken through in such a fraudulent exercise. But we have faith that the 3 judges will do what is right, apply the law, and give justice not just regarding Gachagua, but uphold the Constitution of Kenya because it's the right thing to do.
All right. You listen to him. And he's saying he has got full trust in the judicial system in the country. We're not going to go into the details of that particular case. But he's a man who's got an appeal. He says, I'm just an ordinary man who was treated in the worst way possible. Don't you think that when it comes to sympathy and people listening to Rigathi Gachagua, and I like the way Wasonga is laughing even before I throw in that question, that he isn't just an ordinary man, because this case also becomes a campaign tool for Rigathi Gachagua, because if it goes, yes, that indeed we can confirm that you were illegally impeached from office. And I'm going to play for you clips of Justin Muturi as well this morning, a man who holds a legal authority in this country. Don't you think that you should think twice about Rigathi Gachagua?
You know, if maybe in our learning institutions, there could be maybe a faculty of blackmail and sympathy, then I think Rigathi Gachagua will be the first student in that faculty and maybe become a professor in that. This is a guy who have really mastered the art of sympathy and blackmail. He will now drive a narrative for people to sympathize with him. Like, you know, I'm the bad guy here. I'm very innocent in all this. This guy is just targeting me with no reasons. Then will blackmail me. You know, if you don't do this, then, you know, people watafikiria when you're mbaya. Me si mbaya. So I think I give it to him on that. But again, on the case, I will not try to dwell so much on this case that now that it's before the honorable judges.
Yes.
But one thing I know is that from the political view is that Rigathi Gachagua is just trying to survive politically. Okay? I'm not a lawyer or a constitutional expert, but we know what the law says when an individual is impeached and holding a public office. Remember, if in event the court upheld the ruling by the Senate and the impeachment, Rigathi Gachagua will no longer be the party leader of the DCP, leave alone even going for the presidency. As it now is not even the party leader of the DCP party, because his impeachment stands. That is what Rigathi Gachagua is fighting for. Okay? Leave alone the presidency and vying, of which even if he vies, he doesn't even stand any chance. Okay, I don't think even from Mount Kenya, the people of Mount Kenya, let me tell you, I have so many friends coming from Mount Kenya. The people of Mount Kenya does not even believe in Rigathi Gachagua. They won't even vote for him. If eventually Rigathi Gachagua is declared, leave alone even President William Ruto. If today Rigathi Gachagua can run against, let's say, someone like Matiang'i or Kalonzo, the people from Mount Kenya will rather vote for Matiang'i or Kalonzo than Gachagua, because they don't even believe in him. This is a guy who have mastered the art of blackmailing leaders from Mount Kenya with threats and all manner of all sort of things. So what Rigathi Gachagua is doing now with this impeachment case is trying to politically survive, okay? Get hold of the DCP because he has been parading himself as the DCP party leader. He has been deceiving the masses and the aspirant from the DCP party, thinking that is the DP and the DCP party leader. But if you go to the records from the ORPP, because these are public offices, and anybody can just go to ORPP and require the leadership for any political parties. The political parties are not private entities. These are public offices. Everybody has the right. Even you today, you can just go to ORPP and ask, I want to know the leadership of this particular party. They will gladly give you such information. Rigathi Gachagua is not the party leader of the DCP. So if an event, the court rules against him and say that the impeachment process there was no any kind of illegality in the entire processes, and they upheld the impeachment, he will lose his position first as the supposed DCP party leader. He will lose his political, because he will be in the political cold for quite a number of years. So there will be no any gateway from him. And that is what Rigathi Gachagua is really fighting for. Okay? So let us not mix words. Rigathi Gachagua is not fighting to become president. Rigathi Gachagua is fighting to regain his political status and survive politically. Ensure that he can deceive as many members of the DCP party as possible to get enough cash, so that even if in event in the 2027, because he will not be holding any political office in 2027, but he will be having some kind of people to control and to blackmail and to, you know, such kind of things, number of MPs, okay? But this is a person that does not even have the interests of his people of Mount Kenya at heart. This is a guy that is outside there to be a businessman at core, okay? So the case is not for any good. It's just for political survival. Yes. That's what I will say. Yes. Rigathi Gachagua is not fighting this thing to get something potential out of it. It's just fighting for this thing so that he can survive politically. That's it. Continue deceiving people. I'm the DCP party leader. Yes. You know, you cannot come to through Mount Kenya without passing through Rigathi Gachagua. You know, such kind of narrative. But I can tell you, this is a guy who have really mastered the heart of sympathy and blackmail. That's it. He will appear so innocent, but not innocent.
Wasonga, I was told to ask you this question this morning.
Yes.
And I was told, do not get out of that interview before you put this question to your guests. If Central part of Kenya
yes.
is always known to have kingpins,
yes.
people who come out and drive the vote to a certain direction.
Yes.
If you go by the patterns that this part of the country has voted.
Yes.
If you look this morning, IEBC has given us the new numbers again, out of the 1.9 million Kenyans they've registered.
Yes.
That part of the country is still leading in the number of registrations that we've seen.
Yes.
Big vote basket. We're talking close to 6 million votes that come from the central part of this country.
Yes.
Who is the current kingpin of Central, if not Rigathi Gachagua?
Okay, I will say it in this way. I'm not coming from Central, but on that I will say this. We have supposed kingpinship, that is some creation by politicians. Personally, I don't believe in it, because it's just a form that the political leaders use to try to divide this country along tribal line. Something that, as a common Kenyans, as someone coming from the lakeside region, we should not do away with. Okay? But on that, since you've asked this, and I'll be happy to answer you, who elected kingpinship? Whether from Luos, from lawyers, from Kisi, who elected them?
They don't have, I mean, the plain definition of a kingpin is that you don't have to be elected.
You don't have to be elected.
You rise within the ranks.
People themselves, you know, let me give you the case of Raila.
Yes.
For the longest time, in his entire lifetime, well, ever since Raila stepped into the political arena, for so many decades, Raila have been the unopposed, supposed kingpin of the Luo community.
That's it.
Okay? Who elected Raila? Raila went to the people, sells himself to the people. The people decided to embrace him. He did not force himself to the people.
I'm sorry to cut you short.
Yes.
Is that not the same thing that Rigathi Gachagua is currently doing?
That's where I'm coming from.
Yes.
Well, if you go to the Western,
yes.
Talk of the Masinde Muliro, the Kijana Wamalwa.
That's it.
He did not force himself to the people. If you go to the Kisis, talk of Simon Nyachai, he did not force himself to the people. What Rigathi Gachagua is doing, the people have not embraced Rigathi Gachagua. What Rigathi Gachagua is blackmailing leaders.
Hold on, Wasonga. Where are the telltale signs that Rigathi Gachagua is blackmailing his people?
This is what I'm telling you. A leader, you don't have to blackmail others and use threatening words for people to embrace you out of fear. This is something that we must understand. Okay? Out of the Mount Kenya is quite a vote-rich region.
Yes.
With quite a number of MPs. How many MPs from Mount Kenya region always work with Rigathi Gachagua? Can you count up to 10? And this is a region that has got more than 30 MPs, if I'm not wrong. Alutalala will correct me. Because the Mount Kenya region have around 10 counties. Isn't it Alutalala? Yes, the Mount Kenya region. A very rich. A population of over 6 million votes. How many MPs do you always see working with Rigathi Gachagua? Rigathi Gachagua went to Mount Kenya the other day and says that, why I say that this guy is a master of blackmail and threat. He says to the Mount Kenya people that anybody who is not a member of the DCP party and is not part of the Rigathi Gachagua is a betrayer to the people. Is a betrayer of the community. And he used the word fagia wote. What does that mean? You either come and kneel before me, I take you to the people, or I will set the people against you. I asked myself, I was one day talking to a very good friend of mine from Mount Kenya, and asked him, does it mean that even if someone who's performed pretty well, develop his area, let's give an example of Dinti Nyoro,
yes,
or Irungu Kangata, the governor of Murang'a, one of the best governors, someone whom I really admire those two leaders. Then I asked myself, if today Irungu Kangata decided to say that my focus is for the people of Murang'a, I will not belong either to this one term or this two-term quarrels. I will not either support Rigathi Gachagua or support William Ruto, but I will focus on my seat as the governor of Murang'a and work for the people. Then according to Rigathi Gachagua's narrative, that kind of a person does not deserve a seat in Mount Kenya. What kind of a leader is that? Then where is the word democracy in its democracy for the citizens people? If you cannot even give the people that democracy, you cannot even practice that democracy in the party that you are deceiving people to be leading,
yes,
and you are using threatening and blackmails,
yes,
to the people, then how are you a leader? That's why I say the people of Mount Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua should now go to the people, let the people embrace him. Let him not try to force himself to the people and try to feel threatened by, let's say, other leaders like Uhuru Kenyatta or Matakarwa. Okay? What Rigathi Gachagua is doing, this has never been embraced by the people of Mount Kenya. In the real sense, he has been using blackmails and threats to the people of Mount Kenya. That's why you realize that out of the so many MPs from Mount Kenya,
yes,
he cannot even work with quite a number of MPs. I want to give you an example.
Is it true?
Just before you say something.
Yes.
In 2022, when President William Ruto was the then deputy president and he differs with Uhuru Kenyatta, he started to chant his ways to be his presidential campaign. Okay? The office of the official resident of the deputy president in Karen has got a beehive of activities during that time, group after group. But you could see the number of MPs surrounding the then deputy president William Ruto. These people really embraced him. Whether he deceived them, whether he lies to them, whether he told them what. But these guys really, out of the so many members of parliament from the Jubilee party, more than half, yes, of those members were with the President William, yes, Ruto. Okay? Most of them from Mount Kenya and the Rift Valley region. Today, apart from around 5 or 6 members of parliament and one senator, the senator of Nyandarua, who is always there with him, who else? Out of over around 10 senators from Mount Kenya region, who do you always see with Rigathi Gachagua? If not the Nyandarua senator. That is the only person I always see with him. And the Kajiado North member of parliament, who is in Kajiado County. Kajiado is not part of central Kenya. Okay? Out of the so many MPs from central Kenya, can you count to me, yes, up to 10 MPs that always there with Rigathi Gachagua? Then that will tell you the kind, yes, of leaders Rigathi Gachagua is. The people have not embraced him. If these people have really embraced Rigathi, yes, Gachagua, yes, we could have seen the Mount Kenya leaders, the grassroots leaders from Mount Kenya working with him and even selling him, yes, to the people.
Yes, I'll be talking to you about what the critics are saying, and I'll be coming to you once we come from this break. Just before we go on break, we only have 5 minutes to go to our first break. I would like us to listen to Justin Muturi, another man who's also behind one Rigathi Gachagua that Wasonga is so closing his eyes on this morning. He doesn't want to touch on him. Let's listen to one Justin Muturi, come back, and then make sense of whatever he's saying this morning.
Find out why the Constitution was being violated in that illegal procedure of impeaching him. Listen. Because when you try to ask questions to this administration, incompetence. But you can see clearly, in fact, some of them were even abandoned by the compromised Houses of Parliament. Hata wao wenyewe zingine waliona kweli hii ni upuzi. Hata wenyewe hata Senate compromised as it was. Some of the allegations waliona hapana hii hata sisi tunaonekana hata watoto watatuchekelea. Wakasema hapana. But you see, because a process of impeachment, you don't have to prove all the allegations. Wakasema hata tushikilie hii chache. All of it trapped up. It's for that reason that all of us will be available and go and associate and support our brother Rigiji kuanzia kesho, because we believe, honestly, there was serious violation of the Constitution in that process. And like several of us have said, we hope and pray, and indeed, Prophet, we ask that you continue praying for that only one arm of government which is left operating. It's the only one William hajaweza kusungusha. He may get a few, one or two judges here and there, but that institution of the judiciary is still the only one available to Kenyans.
That's it. Later, I want to take 2 minutes. I'll come back from this break with you as well, so we can continue expounding what he's saying. That Rigathi Gachagua, whether you like it or not, that he should become objective this morning. You can indeed say that from his community, which you gentlemen agree that it's a big voter basket in this country, he's got support where he deserves.
For me, this narrative about one community being too large that it can dictate the politics of this country is a lie.
Is it a lie, though?
It is a lie.
Is it a lie?
For you to win the presidency in this country,
yes,
you must get 25% of the votes in 50+1 of the counties. So even if you had to get 100% from Mount Kenya and you don't get 25% from the other 23 counties, you can't be president of Kenya. Number two, I've always asked myself this narrative about Mount Kenya being the largest community. To me, that thing is an irony, because we have also seen in these media houses reports whereby ECD centers have been closed in Mount Kenya for lack of kids. So where are these numbers coming from? So for me, the idea of one community having the largest numbers and dictating who becomes president, to me, is a lie. I've been looking at those numbers, the IBC new registration.
Yes.
Kakamega County alone has actually done even better than Nyeri. 80,000 plus new voters. So what makes us believe that Mount Kenya alone can make a president? You've seen the numbers even coming from Kilifi. Those are not Mount Kenya regions. So one thing I don't want to dwell on is this narrative that it is only Mount Kenya that can decide who becomes president in this country. And actually that's where I have a problem with Gachagua. Because when Gachagua was the deputy president, he made us believe that if you are not from Mount Kenya, you don't deserve anything in this country. And if you ask me, the biggest problem with Gachagua and his supporters with Ruto is because Ruto has ensured that all regions in this country get development. What Gachagua popularly called the shares. He has spread the shares of government to all regions. Something Gachagua never wanted. Gachagua wanted that only Mount Kenya and Rift Valley, which had produced the president and the deputy, to get the share of the cake. But Ruto said no. This country belongs to all of us. Today, you go to any county, you can't miss a government project going on, all the way from Lamu to Mandera to Malaba in Busia, to Migori on our border with Tanzania.
Yes.
So, for me, I don't buy the narrative of one community being the deciding factor in choosing a president. The president of this country shall be elected by all counties and all Kenyans. And for your information, if you are keen on that, IBC new registration of voters, you will realize that some of those areas that we have always overlooked have really come out very strongly in terms of voter registration. A county like Turkana producing 50,000 new voters in 1 month, Turkana. That's not something to overlook. So Mount Kenya might have had advantage of numbers, but one thing I can assure you, this election is going to be decided by the rest of Kenya and not Mount Kenya.
Pretty much. Gentlemen, I'd like us to take a tiny breather, but as we come back, I'll read for you some of the comments that I'm getting from my ardent viewers who normally watch the show this morning. I do have Stephen who's saying, I like the energy for Wasonga, but I would like to know where his party belongs. Does it belong to the two-term movement or the one-term movement, or does he have a personal problem with Rigathi Gachagua?
I don't know whether I should answer now.
Yes, because we still have 45 seconds.
First, I don't have a personal problem with any leader, okay? I have a problem with a proper Kenya. A Kenya that every individual, every Kenyan can stand and say, I'm proud to be a Kenyan. Not a Kenyan where one person feel or one community feel they are more human beings or more Kenyans than others.
That's it.
As for where the party belongs, as of now, we belong to the part that want the best for this country. I think I've answered you. Yes. That is where we belong.
That's it.
It is not, I don't believe in chorus. I don't believe on the Ruto must go. I don't believe on the one term and the two term. Those are deceptive words. But I believe in an idea that can transform this country, not only for this generation, but from the generations to come. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I have kids. I want the best for my kids and my kids' kids.
That's it.
Not just for me.
That's it.
So I don't belong either to this one term or the two term. I don't believe in either of them. But I'll rather believe on which part will give the solution. If you tell me President William Ruto is talking about SHA, if you want to tell me this SHA is not working, what are you offering to Kenyans? Don't tell me this is not working without giving a solution. I'll rather stay with what you are saying is not working, or even is working up to 10%, rather than believe on something that I don't know where it's coming from.
That's it. Guess what? Stephen, I hope you're listening. And you're going to develop your further question then for Wasonga this morning, because I'll put it to him as well. Of course, I do have my rebuttal on exactly what is presented this morning. So once we come back, we're still going to hear from top leadership within the party. I'll be telling you what Matiang'i has said when he was asked the question, can you run with one Rigathi Gachagua? I do have those comments this morning. Also, one Kalonzo Musyoka has been speaking. I'll be telling you exactly what he has spoken. Mother Karua has been speaking as well. We do know they've been associated to that movement with one Rigathi Gachagua. I'll be telling you exactly what they have said. And then our guests are going to weigh in right here in the studio. Talk to us at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. My name is Simba. See you on the other side of the break.
taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Look Up, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, sikia tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki, na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
Forgive someone who has hurt you?
How easy is it?
What are some tips, a person can apply to improve their public speaking skills? We all have personality lazy somewhere around us.
In my mind, whenever I'm invited for a public speaking event, I don't like to put a lot of, accessories or too many colors.
What are the major things to look out when choosing a school for a child?
Another cheesy conversation starter is, men do this a lot. They look familiar. Have we met before? No. We met in
Nobody is buying that line again.
No, we don't. We don't buy it anymore.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands, depend on your hands more.
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I love music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like.
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he is going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
Do you need a dose of hope? If so, you are in the right place. We think of ourselves around here as hope dealers, delivering truth, power, and inspiration to hearts and minds all over the world. If nothing else has worked for you, why not give the God thing a try? For it's in the presence of God that you'll find everything that you need. Amen.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Look Up. Kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki, na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, naamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wasa wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hawa sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi manzi.
Penzi mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
I talked about dhiki. Mmoja wetu hapa amepata machungu na dhiki, na sababu tuondoke leo turudi Nairobi ni kwamba kesho tuko kwa mahakama. Kesho tuko kwa mahakama. Ndugu yetu huyu, Second Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, aliondolewa kiimla kwa mamlaka. Mimi kama wakili najua ni kiimla kwa sababu katiba yenyewe haikufuatiliwa. It was political mobilization, less national interest. Na kwa hivyo Wakenya wenzangu, Mheshimiwa Rigathi wa Gachagua kesho wako kwa mahakama kujaribu, sio kujaribu, yale ule uamuzi wa jumba la Senate ambao na zote tunajua wengine waliongwa, hata wengine wakakiri shilingi milioni 20 umtoe Gachagua, shilingi milioni 10 ikuwa una ushawishi mkubwa, unaongezwa bei. Mambo haya yote sasa yataanikwa kesho, kuanzia kesho kwa siku 3 nadhani mfululizo.
That in this sense, it might come with the likes of Mother Karua, it might come with the likes of Fred Matiang'i, it might come with the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, it might come in the likes of the top politicians in the country we do know very well, have been known to form the united opposition movement in the country. So from where you seated,
yes,
when somebody tells you regarding Gachagua presidency, it doesn't come alone. That it comes with a force behind it. When the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka are speaking to the support of Kalonzo Musyoka, when the likes of Mother Karua and Fred Matiang'i are speaking to the support of one regarding Gachagua,
yes,
shouldn't you be getting ready for that presidency then? Because this is a force that we're looking at in the country.
First, all the 3 guys you've mentioned have also declared their bid for presidency.
As we wait from their political parties.
Yes.
Yes.
They've also declared their interest.
Yes.
And if you remember, after the clip that you played, Rigathi Gachagua talking to the police just outside the court, all of them commented negatively against such. none of them supported the claim. Yes. They were like, bro, we've not decided, relax.
And I'll be reading the exact comments so that
yes.
we don't misquote them this morning.
Yes.
Would you want me to read that this morning?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump into what Mother Karua and the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka have spoken about this particular issue. Now I'm going to start with one. This is it. This has triggered a lot of reactions across the opposition and political class. Fred Matiang'i, in a televised interview, cautioned against personality-driven leadership, stating that leadership must be about institutions, not individuals. He added that Kenya needs stability. I will leave it there. I will close over to Kalonzo Musyoka, who was warned the opposition must remain united and focused on the bigger goal.
Yes.
That's what he said, reflecting growing concern over internal divisions. Mother Karua goes on to say, we are together and we will move forward as one. Right? He has questions about whether the tensions that are in the United Opposition Movement, according to what Rigathi Gachagua said. So there's nobody who's come up with something clearly to say, Rigathi Gachagua, you're not going to run for president.
And none of them has also come out clearly and said that we support whatever Rigathi Gachagua said. Or declared their, wait. Yes. None of them has also come out and said that we supported Rigathi Gachagua. So if you look at that statement, it was a way they are sending a message to Rigathi Gachagua, telling him that we are equal in this united alternative government. So you should not parade yourself as the head boy of this group. We are both equal partners, if you look at it. Yes. But again, in that camp, we have three senior legal minds. Talking of Senior Counsel Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Senior Counsel Martha Karua, who was in Uganda to represent Kizza Besigye. Talking of the former Attorney General, very senior legal mind, Justin Muturi. I've never seen them in court. Were they in court? Or does any of them represent Rigathi Gachagua in this case? Are they listed as part of the legal team of Rigathi Gachagua? Please. Is any one of them part of the legal team? I hope you won't tell me Ndegwa Njiru, of course, is there. But does any of the three senior guys in that camp part of the legal team representing Rigathi Gachagua? I saw Martha Karua representing Kizza Besigye in Uganda. Okay? Still, he was the party leader of this PLP. I saw Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka representing other guys. Was it the post-election guys? I saw him in court. Yeah. But as any of them stepped into their legal robe and say, now we are representing Rigathi Gachagua, trying to fight for one of our own, should that be a concern? Or are these statements or the clip you are playing to us are just for political statements? Because if I'm a lawyer, and my friend Alutalala has got a problem in court, and I really believed in him, the best I could do is to tell him, brother, I will stand with you. Let me offer my legal profession and 20. I will be there. Okay, let me prepare the case. Let me look into this case, prepare the defense, and we'll go there. I've never seen any of them. So, what does that say about them supporting Rigathi Gachagua? Are they really supporting, or do they really themselves believe in Rigathi Gachagua and the leadership of Rigathi Gachagua? You know, maybe these guys, from my own point of view, maybe these guys are also getting tired of Rigathi Gachagua and this chest thumping and all this. And maybe inwardly they are just praying that the court will just upheld this impeachment and let him go. Because if truly they believed in Rigathi Gachagua, I was really expecting to see them in that court.
Yes.
And it's good. I think that's the video.
Yes.
Please, I'm not straight with the screen. I'm not sitting very straight with the screen. Maybe our camera lady here could really help me see if maybe you could see a picture of Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, and JB Muturi in that team. Okay. I can't see any of them, but I could see his son there and Pastor Dorcas. So I don't know how that, you will tell me that, but I think, my brother, that speaks volume, okay? That speaks volume. I can tell you an example. When Raila Odinga was having his impeachment, his case against President William Ruto in the Supreme Court, I did see the like of James Orengo, Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua. They were all there. Talk about the legal minds. They were all there in that court. They were defending the presidency of Raila Odinga in 2022. These things happened in all cameras. The cameras were there. All the media houses. You look at TV was there. We saw it. Okay. In fact, I even saw Kalonzo helping carrying those box of evidence to Supreme Court. But where was Kalonzo in this clip? Was he somewhere in America? Or where is Martha Karua? Or is somewhere in... are they not in this country?
Or are we saying Martha Karua believes in best more than
Gachagua? Or does Martha Karua exactly?
How could he travel
to Uganda to defend Kizza Besigye? Who is the opposition in Uganda but cannot spare time to go and defend his supposed presidential candidate Rigathi Gachagua in court again? Is something that even J.D. Muturi, who says and speaks, and I think they were with Rigathi Gachagua, speaks and says that the kind of illegality. Yes. Kalonzo Musyoka talking about people were bribed and all those. Yes. But why can't they? Because, you know, I'm not a lawyer. But the little knowledge I have about law says that the law cannot make a ruling on rumors and hearsay.
And innuendos.
Okay? You have to present your evidence and you want to argue your case before the judges. That's it. And the evidence you presented before the judges will now determine the kind of ruling that the judges will give. Not the hearsays and the social media clips and every other thing. Okay? But whatever you presented on court, that's why even if someone kills, if nobody takes you to court, then there is a chance you'll walk scot-free. That's it. Because there is nobody who was filed the case against you. That's it. See, that is it. But now, these things regarding Gachagua and J.B. Muturi was saying, these are legal minds, senior counsels, okay? Some of the top legal minds we have in this country. I will be really much interested to see them present this kind of evidence before the honorable judges and defend this gentleman regarding Gachagua. But unfortunately, they are not there. So maybe we'll say that wako pamoja.
But they've already said it. But maybe give us a different interpretation. I don't know whether you're going to go to the side for Wasonga this morning. When you listen to these statements, and for example, when Fred Matiang'i says, and he did this interview at Citizen TV and was asked this question, can you run with one Rigathi Gachagua? And this is what he said. He said that let's not focus on individuals, let's focus on politics of purpose, right? And then he goes on, Martha Karua goes on to say, I mean, we are together, we need to be together. Listen to the likes of Justin Muturi was saying, we're going to work with our brother all the way to the court. Kalonzo Musyoka also says, we are behind our brother in whatever form. What interpretation do you give it? Don't you then give it the interpretation that in the event the courts clear one Rigathi Gachagua to run, that his presidency doesn't become a Rigathi Gachagua presidency, it becomes a presidency that is backed up by top leaders across this country, which then becomes a threat to UDA.
Now, you know, first of all, before I come to that, let me just comment on something that was discussed before we went to the break.
That's it.
About Gachagua saying that he has trust in the judiciary. I think I agree with my friend here that if there is a class where people are being trained on propaganda and seeking sympathy, the guy qualifies. This is one guy whom we saw when this case was starting. He actually opposed the appointment of these 3 judges. And his legal team fought so hard, saying that the deputy CJ was wrong in appointing these 3 judges to hear this case, until that thing was actually dismissed and these 3 judges were allowed to proceed with the case.
Yes.
So now this is the same person now coming months later to tell us he has a lot of faith in our judiciary, he has a lot of faith in those 3 judges whom he actually fought not to hear the case. I think we are not that foolish. That said and done, let me come to the issue of Matiang'i and the ongoing impeachment cases. I think my friend here is very right to question why the purported friends to Matiang'i, to Gachagua, are missing in action in terms of their appearance in court. That is a very valid point, and in politics, for your information, always don't listen to what is being said, always listen to what is not being said. Your presence or absence in a function speaks volumes. Now, I can confidently tell you, and this one you can take it to your bank, if there is anyone who would want this case of impeachment of Gachagua to fail, meaning that it should not be allowed to go through, yes, is one Kalonzo Musyoka. So whatever Kalonzo Musyoka is trying to portray outside here is what we call shedding crocodile tears. He's actually privately praying and praying that this case is upheld. Because politically, if Gachagua wins this case and Gachagua decides to run, Kalonzo has no chance. Because we know the bravado and the arrogance of Gachagua. He will always come and say, mimi nakuja na kura milioni 6, wewe unaleta nini? So once this guy is cleared, Kalonzo is nowhere. So I can tell you for free, the reason why Kalonzo cannot even appear in that court, despite him being a senior counsel, is because he's praying that Gachagua's case fails, so that he is impeached. Once Gachagua is impeached, once his impeachment is upheld, yes, Kalonzo becomes the senior most among the united opposition candidates. So don't be cheated that Kalonzo is praying that Gachagua wins. No, he is praying that Gachagua fails, so that he becomes the heir apparent of Gachagua's voting bloc. Now, on the issue of Matiang'i talking about personalities, when you hear Matiang'i talk about personalities, and you hear the question that was being asked, what does it tell you? It tells you that inside himself, he feels that Gachagua is not coming out as an institution. He is coming out as Gachagua, the person. And that is what he's uncomfortable with. So, when Matiang'i talks about let's not focus on personalities, it tells you that he is not willing to go under Gachagua because of that personality that Gachagua has, whereby Gachagua believes everything in this country is about Mulima. If you are not from Mulima, then you don't deserve. And you remember earlier last year, Gachagua told Matiang'i to his face, enda tengeneza chama yako, ndio kuje tuongee. He didn't want Matiang'i to vie on Jubilee, yes, because he believes Mount Kenya must be DCP, and Jubilee is a Mount Kenya party. So by Matiang'i being brought on board as the Jubilee deputy party leader, and practically being the party leader, because the current former President Uhuru cannot be a party leader, he can only guide. It is a threat to Gachagua. So don't be cheated, first of all, that there is anything called united opposition. And for your information, we as UDA, we are preparing for 2 scenarios. If Gachagua is reinstated, or if his impeachment is thrown away, in fact, it will work in our favor. Because what that will do is 2 things. 1, Gachagua will come out bragging and with a lot of bravado and arrogance. And he will not want to listen to anyone in the opposition being the flag bearer. What that will do, all these other opposition people, starting with Kalonzo, will troop to Ruto. And you can mark that statement. We'll be here somewhere next year when that will be happening, in case the impeachment is not upheld. Number 2, if the impeachment doesn't go through, goes through, and it is upheld and Gachagua can't stand, what that will do is that Gachagua will have to rally behind one of those who are in the opposition. In this case, we are looking at a scenario whereby now we are having Matiang'i, Kalonzo, and don't forget that we have now a new kid on the block in the opposition called Sifuna and his brigade that has like split, or I don't know the right language to use, from ODM.
Yes.
So what we'll now be waiting to see is that in the event Gachagua is not running because now he has been totally barred after the court ruling,
yes,
what formation is coming? Because automatically he will not be the candidate. And for your information, I want to believe that UDA is still very popular in Mount Kenya. Don't be cheated. And if you want to know, we have had 2 by-elections in Mount Kenya where UDA has won. And the coming month, we are having another by-election in Mount Kenya in Olkalau constituency for the MP seat. And just to let you know, just last week, the UDA party unveiled 10 aspirants, 10, who have come to vie on UDA in Olkalau. Those people are not from Nyanza. They are born and bred in Olkalau.
Yes.
They live and work in Olkalau, and they know what the people in Olkalau are looking for. It can't be a coincidence that these 10 people have chosen to vie on UDA in Olkalau if UDA was that unpopular. And for your information, how many are vying on DCP in Olkalau? Do your research. Let's meet here after the by-election in Olkalau and we compare notes. If Gachagua is really popular and DCP is that popular in Olkalau, let him not take another break to Britain like he took during the Mbaere by-elections. He came back for the Mbaere by-elections, he never appeared there, and they lost. We want him now to go to the ground in Olkalau. Let's meet him there as UDA, and we see how it goes.
That's it.
Yes.
Pretty much. I'll be coming to you. The direct questions that have been forwarded to you, I'll take them in 2 bits. Wasonga, there is a question here, and I will read it. We just pull the exact one. Good. Here it is. And this one is from Tabitha. Tabitha, good morning. How are you doing? Thank you very much for watching us this morning. And she asks this. Wasonga, do you believe in the current administration? Can they take the next government? If so, why? And if not, does the Gachagua alternative make sense to you? And in what way would it make sense to you?
5 questions in one.
That's it.
That's so many questions in one.
That's it.
Thank you, Tabitha. First, I will not say whether I believe in the current administration or not.
Why not,
But
Wasonga?
I will evaluate leaders on what you promised and what you delivered.
Oh, but hold
So
on.
far,
and I'm sorry to interject you. I'm really sorry. Because every time I ask this question, it's been 4 years of this administration.
Yes.
If you had a scorecard for them, Wasonga, you would have a scorecard for them. So right here,
yes,
as
this
Wasonga, the SG of your party, could you give us a scorecard for the UDA government? Because we're talking about alternative presidencies. Give us a scorecard.
Okay, you know, do you want a general scorecard or depending on some cases? On the stability and the unity of the country and putting the country together, compared to the first term of President Uhuru Kenyatta and Mwai Kibaki, yes. I think President William Ruto have done pretty well. As we speak today, we don't see so many conflicts. And even if you look at the political temperature we are in now, it is somehow stable. We are not looking at so much of political event or the political tension in this administration compared to the previous administrations. You know, it has always become a norm in Kenya that 1 year to election, it is politics full blaze, okay? Everything comes to a standstill, we focus on politics, rallies after rallies, you know, political chaos from one side to the other, but that is something that we've not seen, okay?
No, but Wasonga, that's exactly what we're saying. I'm sorry to correct you.
No, but we've not, My friend, I'm talking
that's exactly what we're saying.
Were you here in 2013
yes,
when Raila was going against Uhuru Kenyatta just towards 2017?
Yes,
my friend, people could not even go to work. Raila will call for demonstration every now and then.
The only difference is that it's not Raila Amolo Odinga doing it. Currently, as it is, the same campaigns that we kept on complaining about, they're happening across the country.
But now I'm talking of the tension.
Yes.
Trust me, we don't have the kind of the political tension we've experienced before.
Yes. Wasonga,
today, the tension is somehow manageable. So to some extent, if the President William Ruto presidency, on overall, I will give him like 60% on his performance. Number one, on the health sector, he has done pretty well. The social health insurance, the SHA thing, the social health authority is pretty working. This one, I will not lie to people. SHA is working. And the majority...
teachers and civil servants will fight you this morning.
No, leave alone the teachers. Okay? I'm talking of... You know, teachers, what percentage does the teachers represent? But the teachers...
They'll fight you this morning.
I know, but this is what I'm saying.
And a lot of Kenyans will also fight you this morning.
Let me tell you. You know, there is one problem we have with majority of Kenyans.
Yes.
Someone will say, and you can go outside there and ask, those who shout at the top of their voices saying that SHA is not working, trust me, 80% have not even registered. The remaining 20% have not even gotten sick and gone to hospital to try to use the SHA. So how is it not working? I have a friend who have used SHA. His wife recently gave birth to a very beautiful baby girl. SHA covered everything. I have cases, I've seen people that SHA have really covered their medical expenses. And even as per that, if you look at the number of people who have registered in SHA today compared to those who are using the NHIF, there is a very big difference. So let us give credit where it's due. Okay? So on that, the only problem I have with President William Ruto and the presidential candidate for my brother Alutalala is that President William Ruto overpromised. And to some extent, the promises he gave, President William Ruto will go to every part of this country and deliver promises. Something that these promises cannot be delivered in the actual time. He will talk of in the next 6 months, in the next 3 months, but in the real sense, these things are not being delivered. Okay? So that is the only problem whereby I don't...
This specific, what has not been delivered?
No, but my friend, we are in this country, Alutalala. Let us not try to argue.
Yes.
Okay, no.
My friend was asked a very direct question.
How many stadiums?
Do you believe in this government?
No.
Yes or no?
If
yes, why?
No.
Can you be specific?
I cannot give a direct answer just like what you want to hear. I might not tell you what you want to hear, but I will tell you what you should know. Not what necessarily what you want to hear. Because I know you'll be happy if you say, I believe in President William Ruto.
No, I will even be happy if you say you don't believe
what I'm saying, my brother, is that President William Ruto, I've given, on a general scorecard, I will give him like 60%.
So he has passed.
Okay.
So this is a pass.
So that is slightly over 50%.
Which then,
depending on how he has done his job, and at least he has given us something to talk about.
Pretty much.
And on the second question of the regarding Gachagua.
So Tabitha wants to know.
Yes.
Tabitha didn't ask you for a scorecard. That was my question, just so that you can answer Tabitha.
I think
do you believe in this administration? If you give them 60%, does that make you say, good, I believe in this administration, and I'm going to vote them in?
60% is an endorsement.
If a student gets 60%,
yes, he has
the
passed.
teacher will write, you can do better.
No, he has passed.
Yes, of course,
Pass
but you can do
So
better.
what
Pull up yourself.
What are you saying without saying?
Yes.
What I'm saying
He's
without
saying that
is
he believes in the government.
This government has performed to some extent.
But he's forcing
that does
himself.
not necessarily believe whether that. Now, on the second question regarding Gachagua and his team, the only reason I will not say that I don't really find something I can talk about in that team, mostly from regarding Gachagua. These guys have not really given me a reason to believe that he even understand the problem Kenyans are facing.
Yes.
Because if he's not talking about the shares and the milimas and what, he's talking about Ruto must go and the one term.
That's it.
So to some extent, he has not given me any reason to believe that even understand what is going on in this country. Of course, President William Ruto has given me something to talk about. You know, he has given me something to talk about. He has given me SHA, I can talk about SHA. Okay? He has given me the employment of teachers, I can talk about that. He has also given me the tax, I can talk about the tax. But what has the alternative or the united opposition given me to talk about? I will not talk about the Ruto must go and the one term. No, I will not talk about that. But they've not given me any tangible reason. And let me warn these guys, the Martha Karua, the Rigathi Gachagua and this team.
Yes, yes.
You know, we are dealing, this generation, these guys called the Gen Zs, these young ladies and gentlemen we are seeing outside here on the street, we are dealing with a generation that are very intelligent and very up to date. These are people that you will not just go to them with hearsays and noise and you think they will believe you. They will drop you like something that like a plague at the most unexpected time. These are the only individuals that can make you think that you own this Kenya, but tomorrow you will wake up to realize that you are just absolutely nothing. Just the same way they did to Morara Kebaso. You see what this guy did to Morara Kebaso. Okay? So, if Rigathi Gachagua want to approach these Gen Zs, it must be so much, he must have the real idea and try to convince them. That but going to them with this one term and Ruto must go, my friend, they will not buy it. I'm telling you, they will not, it will not bank on them. They will not. I'm talking with them on a daily basis. I interact with them. They will not buy it. These are guys that are graduate. These guys have got extreme knowledge on the information technology, the AI and everything. They know what they want. Okay? They know what they want. It is only that maybe President William Ruto have not really asked himself what these guys really want. And Rigathi Gachagua does not even have any absolute idea what they want. Okay? So that is now where the problem is. I don't believe that Rigathi Gachagua has given me something to talk about. So where there is nothing to talk about, I will wait until that time. Maybe if the court give him the green light, and he come out and give his manifestos, now we can talk about that. But as for now, he has done not much.
So for now,
but just to, if you'll give me,
so for now,
yes,
just for clarity of this conversation, because Tabitha is still probably listening to you and saying, so where are you? So in the two-term movement.
I said I'm not in the two-term, neither am I in the one-term. I'm in the movement for a better Kenya.
So it's just 1 year to the general election.
Yes, but 1 year is one day in politics is a very long time.
You know, my friend.
No. You don't want to put words in my mouth.
The reason why the SG here cannot commit is because he's aware of the Political Parties Act, which prohibits him from endorsing a candidate from another party.
That's it.
No.
If you look at his mind and heart, he has already given my party leader 60%
but
and he has mentioned several success stories that the president has delivered. So we don't need to belabor this point so much.
Yes.
We just know that his heart and mind supports the president and is in two terms.
I think Alutalala should not decide for me and for clarity of our viewers. But one thing Alutalala needs to understand is that apart from me being the SG of the party, I'm also a voter. And I retain my primary right as a Kenyan. Wait, no, the SG comes second. My right as a Kenyan and as a voter is my primary responsibility. Okay? I can't be the SG today. Wait, no, Alutalala, no. If today, you know, let me tell you, I can relinquish my position as the SG, but I cannot relinquish or let's say that now I'm no longer a Kenyan. No. So me being a Kenyan and a vote is the first priority. But what I will tell you is that I'm not being swayed by the slogans. But I'm only keen, and whoever who is supposed to listen to me, who mind to listen to me, and those few people that maybe I can talk with and convince, is that I will tell them that whoever we are going to vote, we must vote Kenyan first.
That's it.
And whoever have the interest of this country.
That's it.
So whichever way, whether it is President William Ruto or Matiang'i, whoever we will see that his ideas is better than for the future of this country, that is where I belong. Already President William Ruto has given us something to compare. So it is now the duty of these other guys to give us a better offer.
That's it.
Today you are here at Look Up TV. You can only leave Look Up if there is a better offer somewhere.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Gentlemen, we have 5 minutes left and I would like to spread those questions quickly. Aluta, you have a question here that I want you to respond to, and this comes from Mr. Juma. Juma, good morning, sir. And this is what he's saying. Truly and indeed, anything other than Gachagua and Ruto and the political, let me just recall, truly anything other than the Ruto, the Gachagua, and the political survivors that we keep on seeing in this country. Your panelists should know that Kenyans want neither Ruto nor Gachagua. What do they want? A new leadership.
Kenya is a democracy. The fact that you don't want Gachagua and you don't want Ruto doesn't stop any other person who wants Gachagua or Ruto from expressing his views. You are free to support whoever you want and allow the other person to freely also support whoever he wants. That's why we have an election, and elections are coming in 15 months. IBC will declare the winner. Simple.
Wasonga.
But just,
Will Aluta still continue to speak the same way he's speaking against Rigathi Gachagua?
I'm not speaking anything against Gachagua. I'm just explaining what he has been saying, and it is on record. And in fact, I want to agree with Mr. Mondi. In this country, you can't rule out anything in politics. If anything, there is nothing that stops Gachagua from working with William Ruto.
Yes.
And I can tell you confidently that a lot is happening.
Yes.
In fact, you heard him himself while they were in Alutalala during the funeral of that MP. He said, he told the president to his face, hawa vijana wako hawa ndio wanakuharibia. That statement alone tells you, were it not for these young MPs who are in UDA, according to Gachagua, he has no problem with the Ruto.
Yes.
So I fully agree with Omondi. Coalitions are there.
That's it.
Coalitions are coming. Depending on the outcome of the impeachment, I'm not surprised to see Gachagua working with the Ruto.
Yes.
And if he's working with the Ruto, and Ruto is my choice, he'll be my choice.
Pretty much. But then that means that you have no problem with the Rigathi Gachagua presidency, Aluta.
No.
But you
Gachagua will not be coming to work with Ruto as a president.
But they will make a presidency.
No.
The presidency.
Are we talking about Gachagua coming in as a deputy president?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yes, that if they started working with Ruto, anybody who works with Ruto forms the presidency.
No. I think you misinterpreted it. Because from what I understood,
yes,
you know, many people will come to work with Ruto.
True.
But not all of them will be coming in as deputy president.
That's it. So in the
because already we have a deputy president.
So in the event he came in as a DP, because as you say, coalitions are there and we're still going to see a lot before the 2027 general elections. Would you have a problem with the Ruto and Gachagua ticket? Because we've seen it before.
That is, okay, that was unexpected. But if, so long as Ruto is still the president,
that's it.
I'll have no problem.
Pretty much. But Songa, same question as well. I mean, you're saying Rigathi Gachagua hasn't given you anything. But this man that you're given 60% this morning, if you worked with Rigathi Gachagua, would you still say, no, I'm not going to go that direction now because you're working with Rigathi Gachagua? 15 seconds, Wasonga.
Change is the only constant thing. And anybody can change. So maybe if in an event, Rigathi Gachagua come to his senses and realize that a country called Kenya is bigger than an individual called Rigathi Gachagua. And he decided to turn his line and say, let me put Kenya first. and change, then why not? He's a Kenyan.
Spoken like a true SG. Oof. Guess what? Are you ready for a Rigathi Gachagua presidency? What we're going to do is keep on giving you minute-by-minute updates on the proceedings that are currently ongoing at the High Court. That judge bench is listening to proposals, pleas from both sides on why the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua should either be reinstated or completely thrown out. Rigathi Gachagua said he doesn't want anything. Give him his monetary compensation and clear him of that impeachment so that he can continue with his political ambitions across the country. How that goes, we're going to keep on reporting to you. Gentlemen, this has been quite a fantastic conversation this morning. Thank you very much for braving the rain to be in the studio this morning. I'll see you another day for another conversation. Keep on keeping safe and keeping warm as well. Good morning and goodbye.